Hello friends, welcome to youtube.com oblique Dr. Ved channel. In this Dr. Ved channel we discuss veterinary science and animal husbandry lectures. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor Head. In this presentation we discuss Cushing syndrome. We have already presented two videos, part 1 and part 2. This is part 3. In part 3, we will discuss diagnosis and treatment of Cushing syndrome in dog. Friends, we discuss here diagnosis of Cushing syndrome in dog. For a clinician, history is important for the diagnosis. Certain breeds of dogs are susceptible. We have already described in epidemiology part. Female dogs are more susceptible than male dogs, and this disease is observed in old age dogs, 7 to 12 years. So these epidemiological data helps the clinician for the diagnosis. Moreover, characteristic common clinical signs that also we have already discussed, that is important for the diagnosis. Characteristic skin lesions already described. Characteristic alopecia, that is non-pruritic symmetrical alopecia on various parts of the body. Cutaneous hyperpigmentation, the skin become black. Comedones, a black bumps on the abdomen. Seborrhea, calcinosis cutis, a small calcified nodules in the skin and in the subcutaneous tissue. 4Ps, that is also important for the diagnosis. Polydipsia, polyuria, polyphagia, panting, and fifth P is pot belly, that is abdominal enlargement. These are the characteristic signs. If clinician observe this, he can make a definite diagnosis of Cushing syndrome. The hemogram picture also helps in diagnosis. Characteristic is erythrocytosis, that is regeneration of the RBCs, and in the circulation the immature RBCs, nucleated RBCs are observed. Classical stress leukogram is observed, that this disease is related to stress. The classical leukogram is eosinopenia, lymphopenia, and mature leukocytosis. Further diagnosis can be confirmed by serum biochemistry. In serum, there is increased serum alkaline phosphatase, increased ALT. This increased ALT due to hepatocellular necrosis and glycogen accumulation in the liver. Hypercholesterolemia, increased cholesterol level of the serum, that is due to steroid stimulation of lipolysis that causes raised level of the cholesterol in serum. Further, hyperglycemia, increased glucose level of the blood due to increased gluconeogenesis and decreased peripheral tissue utilization. So friends, clinical findings along with hemogram and serum biochemistry, the disease is confirmed. Further, the diagnosis is strengthened by urine analysis test. There is clear decrease in level of the blood urea nitrogenous level. Because of the hyperglycemia, there is glycosuria, presence of glucose in urine. Additional laboratory tests can be performed to determine whether the tumor is from pituitary gland or of the adrenal gland, because here two causes are suspected: pituitary gland tumor or adrenal gland. In about 70 to 80% cases, there is tumor of the pituitary gland, and the rest 15% is tumor of the adrenal gland. For further diagnosis, clinician can perform several specific laboratory tests. There are many tests. Every test has limitations, advantages, disadvantages. Some of the important tests are mentioned here. Low dose dexamethasone suppression test, LDDS test. This is the screening test of choice for canine hyperadrenocorticism. So this is the screening test. The second test is the urine cortisol to creatine ratio, UCCR. This is highly sensitive test. Third test is the ACTH stimulation test, that is used to diagnose various adrenopathic disorders. So ACTH stimulation test is more specific for adrenopathic disorders. Another test, measurement of endogenous plasma ACTH concentration. This is the most dependable test to discriminate between PDH and adrenal tumors. So this is important. Plasma ACTH concentration is important and more dependable test. It can differentiate whether there is pituitary tumor or adrenal tumors. Disease can be further confirmed by diagnostic imaging of pituitary and adrenal gland, especially for the tumors of pituitary and adrenal gland. Abdominal radiography for adrenal tumors, ultrasonography, more sophisticated computed tomography CT scan, and magnetic resonance imaging MRI. This will definitely confirm the pathologies in the pituitary or adrenal gland. Friends, we are dealing with very important, for which we are providing diagnosis, that is the treatment of Cushing syndrome in dog. For clinicians, there are three treatment options. One is a medical, that is drug. Second, surgical intervention. And third, radiation therapy. All this has advantages and disadvantages. All these things, medical, surgery and radiation therapy, depends on the pathology, maybe either in the hypothalamus or pituitary or adrenal gland. And all these three has been used with varying degree of success. Here we discuss medical therapy, that is treatment by drugs, medicine. There are many drugs, but most recent and important drugs are mitotane and trilostane. For detail about dose and regime and schedule, requested to refer Standard Pharmacological Book. The drug mitotane is a classical treatment. How it functions? Mitotane acts on adrenal gland to decrease the production of the cortisol. So cortisol is important for us. More cortisol produce the disease. So this mitotane decreases the production of the cortisol level. The other drug is trilostane. This is also a important drug, gives the good result. This trilostane is an inhibitor of adrenal enzyme and a steroid with a minimal adverse effect. So this drug has a minimum adverse effect on the dog. So here the mitotane and trilostane are the drug of choice for medical therapy. Again, it is to be used depending upon the type of pathology in pituitary or adrenal gland. When medical treatment fails, then surgery is to be performed. You know that there are two main pathology, adrenal gland tumor and pituitary tumor. First we'll discuss about adrenal gland tumor case. It is performed the treatment with medications is more difficult or not possible or not getting the proper result. Here there is surgical removal also of the adrenal gland. Sometimes it is done. Surgical removal of the unilateral adrenal adenomas or adenocarcinomas may be indicated because you know that adrenal glands are in pairs. So unilateral surgery can be done in tumors of the adrenal gland. In case of pituitary tumor, the surgical removal of the pituitary gland is performed. It is called as hypophysectomy. Even after the surgery, the thyroid and glucocorticoid support is required to strengthen the life of the animal. So here we have discussed about the surgery on adrenal gland or pituitary tumor. Friends, medical therapy, surgical therapy, and the last choice is radiation therapy. This is more sophisticated and costly affairs. Radiation therapy is more superior, and this is a newer type of radiation therapy. Two types of radiation therapy is performed, CyberKnife and Gamma knife. The Gamma knife is specially for nervous tissues. These new techniques are more effective and have a very less side effects. Now we discuss here something about CyberKnife radiation therapy. This uses a high energy X-ray machine. It is used with a robotic arm to precisely deliver the radiation beams. So robot delivers a precise radiation beams. The importance of CyberKnife radiation therapy is CyberKnife radiation destroys tumor cells. Important. Second thing, it stops tumor cells to grow. Third important thing is it avoids damage to the healthy tissue. So by these three ways, the CyberKnife radiation therapy is important. Even after CyberKnife radiation therapy, medications is required for few months after radiation therapy. Friends, we know that disease is due to pituitary tumor or adrenal tumor. Both glands are very important for the disease, and both glands are important for the health of animal also. So when disease of these two glands occur, generally prognosis is poor. In pituitary dependent Cushing disease, the dog survive for about 2 years after the development of disease with or without medication. So average lifespan is 2 years. If the dog is treated with radiation therapy or surgery, then clinician can lengthen the life of the dog from 2 to 5 years. If the dog is treated with unilateral adrenalectomy, then survival period is about 18 months after the surgery or after the disease. Dear veterinary friends, requested to share this important information to veterinary friends and veterinary students. Requested to subscribe this channel to promote the channel. If you like this channel or video, please press a like button. Thank you very much for observing this video. With this, we are concluding Cushing syndrome disease in dog. Next time, we'll come with another disease. Thank you very much for observing this video.